Hello and welcome to my end of the year thank you slash update video, whatever you want to call this, for 2023. I don't really know what to call this, so this is the last video of 2022 for the channel. I want to go through and kind of talk candidly about some things that are going to change with the channel in 2023, plans, changes, and whatnot. And go forward with it from that point. So first of all, and I'll say it again at the end, thank you again for watching the channel. I think I had the biggest growth I've had in 2 or 3 years this year on the channel. Again, completely unexpected. I don't advertise the channel. I don't pay for like Facebook ads or anything like that. I just do this for fun. So I had a couple videos that really blew up this year. I think I increased like 50 or 60 subscribers, which for a big channel is nothing, but for a small channel like mine that, you know, I don't really look at those numbers that often, it's pretty cool. So thank you for that. Thank you for, you know, watching, listening, commenting, all of that great stuff. Couple things I want to address and talk about on the channel and talk candidly about. First thing, this coming March, Marble Gallery is going to be 6 years old. I've been doing this for 6 years, which is fucking crazy when I think about it. When I started this channel back in 2017, I was still working at GameStop. I was a part-time assistant manager, so I worked part-time. I had a shit ton of free time, you know. I had the time to sit down, play the latest game, get a review out within a week of release, because that's the kind of fucking time I had, you know. I don't have that time anymore, if I'm being completely honest. You know, I have a house with my girlfriend, I pay a mortgage, I've got animals I have to take care of, obviously one you know that's very, very sick. A lot of care goes into that. I have a lot. I work a 40-hour-a-week job. Thankfully, I get to work from home, which is a blessing, but I still work a 40-hour-a-week job at the end of the day. So between jobs, bills to pay, all that kind of stuff, I don't have the free time that I had 6 years ago. I am going to be scaling back the amount of video reviews that I do for the channel. I'm not going to try and review everything that I buy. I'm not going to try and review everything, you know. Another thing that I'll put out there and say is and this is both for myself and for the channel. I'm not buying everything day one anymore. One thing you guys have to understand, and I've said it before, but again, I don't have any sponsorships. Nobody pays for anything here but me. So every game that I review comes out of my pocket. You know, I pay for it. And with the price of games going up to $70 pretty much across the board now for new releases for Series X and PS5, it becomes more and more of a money issue at times, you know, especially when you have bills and stuff to pay. I've started this fall buying less games that come out day one for multiple reasons. This being one of them. The other is, and I'll be straight up, and I'll give you a little life hack secret here. Most video games go on sale within 2 weeks of their release for a significant discount. And I'm talking, sometimes, if it's like Sonic Frontiers, it's 4 days after it came out, it's $35. Gotham Knights, another great example. $35 on Black Friday, literally a month later. Also, you have to factor in the state of games when they come out now. It's not like 10 years ago when developers would push every inch of polish onto that game disc before they press and ship it. Today, they are more than happy to ship a broke-ass game and fix it later because they know that people will still buy it. A prime and great example, and I'll give you a spoiler for Game of the Year content coming in January. The worst game I played, Saints Row, because I'll be honest, between now and January, I don't think I'm going to play a game that's worse from 2022 than fucking Saints Row. That game needed another 6 months in the bin, and it was a broke-ass mess that they took from the end of August until first week of November to fix. So you're paying $70 out of pocket for a game that is a broke-ass mess. The developer knows it, and they don't care. And that's a problem. And we see it happen more often time and time again. Look at Gotham Knights. It's another great example. The game's broke as shit. They've already patched it like 2 or 3 times. It still needs a lot of work. I don't need to play that game right now for that reason. So why would I? Why would I not just wait? The other thing too is like, again, it's a time commitment. Like I love RPGs, but I have a really bad habit of buying every RPG when it comes out and putting it on a shelf and not getting to it until years later. This year alone, I'll be candid here. I bought Dalefield Chronicles, Star Ocean, Divine Force, and God, there was a third one I bought too. These games are all sealed, sitting on a shelf, and I'm probably not going to open them anytime soon because I have other stuff I have to get through. And I've realized, like, unless it's something where it's like, okay, they're probably not going to make very many copies of this. The other game I was thinking of was Valkyria Elysium, which is kind of an RPG, kind of a Devil May Cry type game. But still, the point is, these are lengthier games that I probably didn't need to buy day one. I'd argue maybe Valkyria Elysium, probably not going to be the biggest hit. Not a lot of copies made, but again, these are games that I should have waited on until they were on sale Black Friday, because I wasn't going to get to them anytime soon. And that's a conscious effort on my end that I'm going to be taking into 2023 to not only save some money, budget my time better with games, but also just not have such a ridiculous backlog. And I also want to focus on my backlog. I have an insane backlog of games. An insane backlog of games. If you listen to podcast 572, which we're going to talk about that here in a minute, I, for the first time this year, and I'm going to butcher the franchise name, so I apologize. You can yell at me in the comments. I don't care. I think it's called Atelier Ryza. It's the Atelier franchise, and they're based on different characters. I've never played a single one of these. I've never had an interest. It's something I remember working at GameStop, stocking these games, not really giving a shit, just going, oh, another anime game, who cares? For whatever reason, that Atelier Ryza 3 game trailer hit, and it sucked me in. I have it reserved, and I went out and bought the first 2. And I actively want to play and review those games for the channel. So I have games on the back burner that I want to do reviews of that aren't new. These are older games that have been out for a while. And that's what I want to focus on in 2023, is bringing back series like You Should Be Playing, where I talk about a game that maybe it's a year or 2 old, maybe it's 5 years old, but I have a good experience with it, and I think more people should play it. One of those games that I played and I did a video on, it was really successful on the channel, was the 360 arcade Castlevania multiplayer game, which is one of my favorite games. And I still get comments on that video of people that are like, I'm so glad you made this video because I never heard of this game. And it's great because that game's backwards compatible on the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X and S. So new people that haven't played that game can go pick it up and play it, and the servers are still online. You can still play online. It's a fantastic game. One of my favorite videos I've ever made. And that's why I enjoy doing that series. It's not because I want to get, 100,000, views on it. It's because even if 26 people watch that video, that's 26 people that I've talked to about a game that I think is really fucking good. And I want to convey that to the audience. So, the more I've thought about it, the more I've thought about how I want to change the channel in 2023. That's the biggest change that's coming to the channel. What I'll say is expect less new release reviews, and expect a lot more backlog stuff. We're gonna kind of try this experiment. We're gonna see if it works. The second thing I want to talk about is Podcast 572. Podcast 572 has exploded in popularity. I don't get a lot of views on YouTube because I just put up the audio version, and I really only put it on this channel because I want more exposure. But also, I want people to realize, like, hey, this dude also has a podcast. With that being said, we're on iTunes, we're on Spotify, we're pretty much on anywhere that you can get podcasts. Our numbers we average are pretty good per episode, like shockingly good. And I haven't really advertised it. Like, I still have to get the Twitter account up, which, I mean, I don't even know if Twitter's really going to be a thing much longer. But the point is, and that podcast is also kind of turned into like a GameStop self-help podcast at times, which, again, me, my friend Dan, he used to be a store manager of a GameStop. You know, we enjoy every email that you guys send us. We enjoy reading those. We enjoy giving you advice, and talking about stuff, especially GameStop. But just anything in general. We love, my buddy Matt too, that's on the podcast. We all love reading and answering emails. So every email that gets sent in, we 100% appreciate it. We get like 15 to 20 emails every 2 weeks. We do the podcast every 2 weeks. So it's awesome. So happy, so thankful that podcast is taking off. Maybe in the future we'll look into hosting on here like a video version of it, but for right now we're going to keep it audio. And that's fine. I think going forward, I think everybody's really enjoying it. I do see the video counts like ticking up for that on Marble Gallery's channel, so that's awesome. But again, Podcast 572, you can listen to it anywhere. If you ever want to send a question in, podcast572@gmail.com is the email address. So nothing's changing with that. We're taking a break. We're not taking as long of a break for the podcast as I am for the channel, which is fine. Our last episode will premiere next week, probably Monday for the year, and then we will be back the weekend of January 13th, and we'll start recording again every 2 weeks. We're just taking a very brief, break for the holidays. With that being said, let me lead into plans for immediate plans for next year for Marble Gallery. After you see this video, you're not going to see another video on the channel until probably the last week of January, other than these 2 podcast episodes. And that is because I'm on break. I am trying to finish up games that I think might crack my top 10 list. Right now I'm playing Callisto Protocol. I still have Evil West to finish. So I have stuff that I want to finish for a top 10 list. And also, I have all the other fun awards like, biggest mess, biggest disappointment, worst game, whatever, what those may be. I also might do a top 5 movie list. I've been thinking about that because I kind of want to start talking about movies more again on the channel, but that's to come. So those videos are going to appear last week of January. Those videos are going to start to appear the last week of January on the channel. And then going forward, we'll be back to normal videos, probably like one every 2 weeks or whatever for the channel. But that's kind of the plan right now. So, and I've been doing Game of the Year stuff this way since 2 years ago when I had hernia surgery. I had to give myself an extra month because I had to recover from that. And I realized by doing that, I have more time to play some stuff I might have missed. So, that's the reason why I do it, and it works out a lot better. I'm able to work on those videos during the break and have them come out in a quick succession. So that kind of wraps up my ideas and plans for 2023 for the channel. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, thank you to anybody that listens to the podcast, that watches these videos. I always appreciate your support. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, until next time.